It was the holiday season in 2018. I'd been pondering what gifts to buy my family and friends. I literally woke up in the middle of the night and started searching for Black-owned companies. I wanted to buy something that would have an impact on my community. So that year, I blacked out Christmas. In other words, I purchased virtually everything from gift bags to playing cards to spices to body butters, all from Black-owned companies. And it made me think, the holiday season isn't the only time when we celebrate. There are birthdays and Mother's Day, Father's Day. And that's how the idea for Noire Boutique was born. Noire is the singular feminine version of the word black in French, and boutique means a small store that is sophisticated. We are thoughtful in selecting.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SelfCare Sundays with Noire Boutique. I think we had a little bit of an issue with audio. Could you all hear the video?
Go to my bathroom.
When it was playing on your end, Amaya and Valencia, you could
I could hear it.
Okay, it wouldn't play on my side, so that's why I just went ahead and stopped it to make sure we could go ahead and go for it. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. I am Daisy Thames, owner of Noire Boutique, and I am here with two amazing ladies this morning, or this afternoon. I think it's still morning for you in Colorado. We've got Valencia Scott, who is the owner of The Perfect Pucker, and we also have Miss Amaya Schutter. And did I pronounce your last name correctly?
You got it. Honestly,
all of our gifts are
got it.
Nice work.
So lovely to have you ladies here with us today. I kind of came across these two ladies from looking at some Buy Black websites and also some other Black-owned companies that I came across, and really just felt their energy, their passion for their businesses, just their desire to kind of do good and use their platforms for that. So excited that they can be the first to participate in SelfCare Sundays, because self-care is definitely something we need to do. But before I keep going in and we kind of jump into some questions, let them introduce themselves. So I'm going to start with you, Amaya. You can just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, like you said, my name is Amaya Schutter, and I own Elevated Soap Company here in Aurora, Colorado. I'm actually originally from New York City, from the Bronx, and I moved out to Colorado with my husband about 7 or 8 years ago, and I honestly started the whole soap thing when I was in Florida. I know I'm all over the place, but I finally made a decision to, be serious about it when I lived here about 5 years ago, and yeah, it's the thing that makes me the most happy. I used to want to bake. I went to culinary school, kind of fell out of love with that, and I've always had like a sciencey chemistry kind of brain. So when I found soap making, it was very similar to baking in a way, in a sense. And here we are.
Absolutely. I love how your life has completely evolved in cooking, and you've lived in different places and now landed with soap. That's an interesting question I kind of want to come back to a little bit later and just understand how that background has really kind of led you here. But before we do that, let me just ask this other beautiful young lady if she would introduce herself, Miss Valencia.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Valencia Scott, and I am the owner of The Perfect Pucker. The Perfect Pucker is a line of skincare products that I developed about 12 years ago here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Everything is handcrafted by me. I have lip scrubs, lipsticks, hand lotions, body butters. I even have a men's line with a very popular beard oil. I started years ago just trying to come up with ways to make extra money, and I developed a love for what I was doing, and it started with my lip scrub, and it just grew from there.
Awesome. And I came across Valencia. Let me see. I was looking for different vendors. And I think it was your logo that drew me. And I was like, oh, look at those gorgeous lips. I need my lips to look like that. Let me find out who this lady is and her business. So, but again, as I mentioned, we are here for Self-Care Sunday. And so before we even get into any of the other questions, how about we take a second and each of us just kind of define, what does self-care mean to you? And I'm going to start with you first, Valencia, this time.
So self-care for me means taking time out to make sure that you are kind of in check with yourself. Like you're kind of, you know, stepping away from the hustle and bustle of your career. I'm not a mom, but, you know, kind of making time for yourself. You can get caught up, you know, with family and kids and husband and all that kind of stuff. So just taking time for yourself. I mainly do that by incorporating my skincare products, whether it's giving myself a face mask or giving myself a pedicure with my peppermint foot scrub and foot cream, just anything that's kind of pampering and make you kind of pause for a minute and make you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely love it. And so please, everyone in the audience, make sure you're taking point of the products she's talking about. She's got foot scrubs and foot creams and lip exfoliants. So definitely make sure you take note of that. I want to come to you, Amaya, and ask if you can do the same and just define for us, what does self-care mean to you?
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Valencia said, I agree. It has to do, you know, with taking that special time to, you know, focus on yourself, and not only with physical aspects, whether that be, you know, like I did my makeup today and I haven't done my makeup in so long because of the whole COVID situation with the mask and everything. So that for me was self-care, but it's also like personal growth. You know, if I want to read a book, I want to learn something, that to me is a version of self-care. I'm ever evolving. I always want to be learning. So anything that can make me a better person or just a better human in general, like I'll take that up. And I'm gonna have to look at Valencia's foot scrub because that sounds real nice right now. It's getting real cold in Colorado.
Girl, we won't even ask you how cold it is because I just want to keep that energy in Colorado with you. So I love what both of you said. It's kind of taking that time out, as you said, Valencia, and for Maya, you talked about some other things that you incorporate for self-care. So not just you know, things that you do to your body, but reading a book and having those moments. So for me, self-care, I think, used to mean what I did to my body, right? So if I'm having my Sunday wash day and I have natural hair, so it's a process. You know, you've got 15,000 conditioners and all these different things you've got going on. But for me, that's what it used to mean, until I would say probably the last couple of years, I started realizing there was a part of kind of that silencing and putting, kind of protecting a space for myself that really could drive self-care as well. So while the scrubs and the physical part was absolutely critical, there was another kind of mental part of self-care, right? Setting boundaries and making sure that I established that for myself. So as a business owner, as small business owners, it can sometimes be very difficult for us to maintain self-care and for us to protect those spaces or that time that Valencia mentioned, you know, that are for ourselves. Talk to us a little bit about how you go about protecting that space for yourself. Amaya, I'll start with you.
So I have a tendency to have that go, go, go brain. I'm always thinking about, I'm a night owl naturally. So my brain starts going 3,000 miles a minute at midnight, you know,
Yeah.
and it's hard to balance self-care with that kind of mentality at the same time. So I really do have to make a conscious effort to be like, hey, today is going to be my day. I'm gonna slack off a little bit or whatever. This is what I'm gonna do. I have to voice it. Otherwise I can get caught up in the hustle and bustle, like you said, you know, and not really take care of myself and just kind of forget, you know. And I have a tendency to definitely do the pampering because, you know, I make soap, I make candles, I make all these things, but I definitely forget about the mental aspect of it. So when you say, I almost had a hard time thinking of that question because I was like, how do I do it? You know, how do I actually make time for myself? So it made me be more cognizant of that. Like, how do I protect that personal space? At least the mental personal space for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's come to you, Valencia, and if you can come off mute for a second. And yeah, let's talk. What does it mean to you to protect that space for yourself?
Yeah, so for me, again, I'll piggyback off of what you were saying. It's hard for me to kind of shut my brain off when it comes to that. I'm always, thinking about my business. But for me, the things that I the things that I make are for self-care and pampering. So even when I'm trying to do some, self-care, I'm still incorporating my business because I could be coming up with a new product or making one of my current products better, maybe a new fragrance or something like that. So, but also I do need to work on like the mental aspect of it. I do need to figure out a time, okay, try to shut your brain off of all of that and, just focus on something different, like reading like a self-help book or, call a friend, some Netflix, something to kind of separate that. So that piece of it is a little bit, it is a little hard for me. And I struggled with this question as well.
Yeah. And I struggled even, writing the question, because for me, it's not just something I want to present to you, but something I have to reflect on and say, do I do that as well as maybe I would tell someone else to do it? Or maybe, because I think we are so good at looking at each other and saying, sis, you need to take a break, or sis, maybe work on yourself. But, how many times do we feel guilty about taking that same space and setting those same boundaries for ourselves? I don't know about the two of you, but I know for me, that's a struggle, right? Constantly battling with myself of the guilt of stepping back and being able to say no and being able to say, I would love to help you with this, or I love to participate with this, but I have to set this boundary right now to protect, something that, in terms of mental health or stability, if it's gone, nothing else functions, nothing else works right in your life. So the holidays this year, I think, will, at least in my lifetime, look very, very different from how we've seen them look, in at least in my entire lifetime. And as business owners, it's a challenge for us to try to figure out, how do you celebrate the holidays? How do you spend that time with your family and friends, whether it's from a religious perspective or just hanging out and having that free time, to then being able to say, how do I get out my Black Friday sales and get out my orders to my customers because they're waiting on it? Let me come back to you for a second, Valencia. Talk to us a little bit about maybe some of the things that you've done to prepare for the holiday season so it's not as overwhelming as maybe it could be.
So this year I made a conscious, so full disclosure, I'm a bit of a procrastinator. This year I made a conscious effort to try to start prepping early for the holiday season. Earlier this year, a local company named my company as a local Black owned business to support. And I got a lot of business from that. My Instagram followers went up. I got a lot of orders. So I keep thinking, okay, my Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, my sales are probably going to be a lot higher this year. So I want to focus on that. And also, too, I've been focusing on telling people to do as much shopping you can with small businesses and local businesses. Because during this pandemic, we're the ones who are suffering. Amazon is fine, Target, they're doing fine, but it's those mom and pop, it's the single entrepreneurs who are struggling. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on, this year, telling people to shop local. And then, like I said, trying to get ahead of the game by prepping, new products and gift sets and things like that.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Amaya? How have you prepared or tried to take some more time to prepare for what could already be an overwhelming holiday season to this extremely unique year that we're all facing? And you're on mute. Sorry, I had to mute. Yep. Yeah,
Bam.
there we go.
Okay. I definitely have a tendency to procrastinate as well. And I have this, and I'm sure every entrepreneur has this little like voice in the back of their head of fear of failure, which is almost counterintuitive because I don't take the leap of faith sometimes just for that, fear of failure. And this year I kind of just jumped all in. I said, you know what? If it's this year definitely has kind of opened my eyes to, you could take things for granted. You whether that be relationships, people, holidays, everything that you know we hold near and dear to our hearts could be taken away. So I was like, I can't just put this off any longer. So it was a lot of mental preparation, because I'm honestly, I basically live down here. I might as well have a bed just sitting back there. I started putting out more products that I wanted to put out, that I've been putting out for, or thinking about putting out forever. Um, I ordered a new journal, you know, just little things that are really gonna help me be ready for the holidays. And here's the funny thing is, actually, I'm not doing a Black Friday sale this year. I do a lot of sales throughout the year. And I'm sure Valencia can agree, you know, what we make definitely has a very small profit margin. So, you know, we always have to think of creative ways of marketing our products and pricing them accordingly, so that we're not, you know, shorting ourselves. And I think as women, we tend to do that naturally, along with setting boundaries and everything like that. So I was just like, let me just dive in, let me just do this. And I had enough confidence in my product that I was like, I'm going to just give out a free product for Black Friday, and I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm not going to second guess myself. And I think it's working. So
that's awesome. I wanted to like say amen, but I didn't want the audio to mess up when you were talking, because, you know, I've been trying to figure out what to do with Black Friday as well. This is my first year in business. And so I don't have like prior years actuals to look back on and say, okay, this is what happened last year. Let me kind of tailor myself to this year. But the whole profit margin idea, it's like when you're a small business, you're everything. You're the shipping, you're the maintenance, you're the packaging person, you're the designer, you're all of these things. And so money and well, time and creativity, all of that is money. So, you know, trying to figure out what's the balance between, you know, giving a product that people can purchase, at the same time not discounting your creativity and all the hard work that went into it. So just to the viewers and to us, you know, my encouragement is, you know, be gracious with your small business owners, and think about the work that goes into creating products. This isn't, you know, some large manufacturing company that can crank out products, thousands per second. But these are individuals who are taking the time with their creativity and literally crafting products that are specific, that are safe, they're organic a lot of times, you know, to make sure that they're healthy for us. So that was just my plug to everybody, for the business owners. Also to our audience, if you have questions or comments, feel free to drop those in the comments. We can see them, and we'll actually post them up there for others to see. So if you have comments for our business owners or questions, let us know. So before we get into looking at the products, one last question that I wanted to ask. So I'm going to come to you first, Valencia. If money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if there were absolutely no boundaries, no hindrances to anything, in your absolute wildest dreams, what do you see for the perfect pucker?
My wildest dream would be to have one of my products featured as one of Oprah's favorite things. That would be it for me. That would be amazing. That would be my wildest dream.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I believe in putting that energy out there, and those prayers. So for those people who are watching or will watch this, tell Oprah we've got a couple of businesses that need to be featured next year. We know the list is out for 2020, but 2021 is coming fast. So awesome. What about you, Amaya? In your wildest dreams, what do you see for Elevated Soap Company?
I've always loved going into small boutiques, small local boutiques, and just seeing those like handcrafted items, those one of a kind items. And I want to be on this like a cute, quaint street, have a boutique of my own, a little storefront that you can come in and smell and just enjoy all the products. And I'm there like, hi, like, how you doing? Welcome to my shop. You know, this is my baby. Honestly, and it would be I'd be in my wildest dreams. Honestly, I would be happy with just 2 locations. Just 2 locations. I don't see myself like franchising or doing anything huge like that, because that's not really why I got into this. I got into it because this is something I love. Like I want to I'm a bit of a control freak, I'm not gonna lie. So I love having my hand in everything, and I want to make sure that the quality's there. And that's what I always saw with those shops that I would go into, you know, and you go on vacation and you go shopping and you find these little shops. That's what I saw for myself, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I can totally see that because I have looked at like some of your pictures and your Instagram and how you put things together. I can see myself being drawn to a shop like that features
Thank you.
Elevated Soap Company. So again, putting that energy out there that you will have that one day. And so my wildest dreams is something similar. That Noire Boutique will be similar to like your Harry and David's and your From You flowers. When people think of gifts, it's the first thought that they go to, right? To be able to purchase just some amazing items. And so I also would love to have a small boutique and have an area for self-care products where Elevated Soap Company as well as the Perfect Plucker could be featured. Because I when I go into Targets and some of the big box stores, I'm like, why aren't these products there? There's so much opportunity and shelf space that we need to occupy. And so I love the fact that we're building our own shelves, right? We're building our own stories and ways to have our products reach the market. So enough about the chatter. I want the people to see what products you have. So I'm actually going to come to you, Amaya, first. I see you sitting in the lab. Girl, tell us about where you are and what you're working on.
So I'm in my house, in my basement, in my home in Colorado, in Aurora, Colorado. Everything that I put online is made right here. Um, all the creativity happens here. It's actually kind of funny. So when we bought this house, my I was still like in the beginning stages. Like I wanted to do something with soap, and I knew I wanted to make soap. And when we were being showed this house, my husband came down here and he was like, babe, your soap lab. So it's like it's come a long way because I had a workbench already. Like it was almost like set up perfectly for me, right? But yeah, I think I've maxed out the space I've had in here because it's really a laundry room that somebody made into a workshop, and I've definitely remixed it into my own space. I've definitely maxed out everything that I can put in here. I've got 2 baker's racks full of stuff usually, but yesterday I was making holiday candles. So should I show you some of that?
Absolutely. I was just about to say, if you have something to show us, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got this one right here. I don't know if you can see, but there's some glitter on there. It's all biodegradable glitter, but these are my coconut wax hand poured candles. They're made with pure coconut wax and wooden wicks. I've always loved the idea of wooden wicks because growing up in New York, we didn't have things like fireplaces or anything like that I would think that was super cozy. We were always on top of each other. So when I could make a wooden wick candle and you get that like fireplace, like ambiance, I wanted other people to feel that, you know, like it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can buy a nice candle and feel that way too. Right. So this one right here is permafrost, and it's like a true peppermint scent. So if you love that minty, like crisp air scent, that this one's for you. I've got some of my normal scents. One of my best sellers is the Wake and Bake candle, which is hazelnut coffee house. It's kind of funny.
So good, everybody.
That's right. Yes, you have had that scent. So it's in a candle too. Also with a wooden wick. They last about approximately 40 plus hours. They're about 9 ounces each. Right now, I don't really have plans to make different sizes. These fill a pretty average size room or, you know, bedroom, and that works. But I do also have wax melts. I recently changed my wax melt setup. They were smaller before. I actually have one of the old packages right here. This is what they look like before. You get a set of 4. But I don't know about y'all, but I love smells. Like the stronger the smell, the better for me. But I do make lighter scented stuff, so not all in your face.
Yes.
But instead of that, I went with much bigger wax melts so that you can fill like a living room, or you have the ability of cutting this in half and then using it in a smaller room. I wanted my customers to be able to have that versatility and also their individuals, so that they can choose different scents instead of having a set that's already just 4 wax melts. So that's that. And then,
and just to note about the wax melts before you move on. So for those of you who have children or you get busy and you kind of stop thinking about what's going on in your house. The wax melts can be a really good way to have some safety, and you still have the fragrance in the house, so you're not lighting a fire if you can get the electric kind. I have some in the house as well. So just kind of a note for folks who are thinking, well, I want the scent of the candle. You don't compromise the scent of the candle with the wax melts. I promise you it's the same. It's just a safer way of doing it without the fire. So sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Daisy, because that is I forget that isn't it isn't common knowledge yet that what they are, because people look at them and they're like, is this like a small soap?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's definitely it's like a flameless candle.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what kind of warmer you have, the scent might be a little stronger. And if you don't forget to turn off your warmer, it happens.
Right.
Then the scent can last a lot longer than a candle too.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely something to think about. So thank you for that, Daisy, because that is definitely one of the perks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn down the she shed while you are.
They don't burn down the she shed.
I won't even tell you how many times I get ready to go to bed and I'm like, oh, the candle's still on. And so the wax melt, the warmer has been a lifesaver for me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm constantly testing scent, like candles. So I have to like survey my house to make sure I'm not gonna burn my house down,
Right.
But yeah, so yep, I got my candles out, I got my wax melts,
Mm-hmm.
I've got my soaps, which is my first love, my bar soap. I actually have made over 100 scents that I divvied up into the different seasons. And then I have my permanent line that I'm basically trying to have at every single time, because I love the idea of, like, Lush. They have so many different scents.
Yeah.
And so many things to choose from. I don't want to hear anyone saying that they couldn't find anything in my lineup, because you'll find something you like.
You absolutely will. And before I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was like, and I can't decide, so it just kept growing, basically.
And I was gonna say, before we switch to Valencia, I want to say one of my favorites is Snow Lotus, and so that's actually what we carry in Noire Boutique. And so it makes the whole shower smell good. Like, I can literally just sit here and sniff it. When she sent me, I purchased a variety box first, and she sent me all these different soaps, and this is the one that I was just like, okay, if nobody else buys this, I'm buying it because I love this fragrance. Let's see, fresh, clean, masculine aroma with notes of jasmine, bergamot, green melon. Like, it's beautiful. So if you order a self-care basket or self-care collaboration from Noire Boutique, this is one of the soaps that you will this is the soap that you will get in there, and it's perfect on your skin. It's awesome. So let's switch just a second to Miss Valencia, and if you can tell us a little bit about your products, not just what we have at Noire Boutique, but some of the items that you feature.
So what I did was I grabbed a few products that kind of focus around the self-care aspect. So I will start out by talking about the first product that I created, and that is my lip scrub. And it is 100% naturally derived. It has sugar, vegetable glycerin, jojoba oil, vitamin E oil, and essential oils. And it's great, especially for the winter months, to help keep your lips, if your lips get really dry and you have the dead skin cells on there, it helps get rid of all that. And then you would follow up with one of my lip remedies, which is like a lip balm. And so this would be like a nice, little lip treatment that you could give yourself. Another self-care set that I have on my website is my peppermint foot scrub and foot cream. I haven't been, getting like regular pedicures since everything, shut down. I've, been kind of skittish about going to, a salon to get like a pedicure, but these are great for giving yourself an at-home quick pedicure. And if you, stay on top of it, then, it's really nice. It helps keep your feet nice and soft. And then the cream has a little bit of menthol in it. So it's got that cooling effect. One of your candles that you mentioned was, you said Coffee House, I think is what it's called. We need to partner somehow, because I have a coffee body scrub that is, I'm trying to figure out, there we go. I don't know if you can see that. This coffee body scrub, it is, it smells so good. So we need to figure some stuff out. And also too, I don't make soap, so that's another can partner up with. But
I'm about to jump out of my skin over here, girl. I'm so excited. Go ahead, keep talking.
But what I'm most excited about, so I'm launching this tomorrow. So you guys are the first ones to know about this. I've been giving out little teasers.
Yes, you teased us because I was trying to look, and I'm like, open the box, Valencia.
So this is the first time anybody is seeing this. So I have a face care line called The Perfect Skincare. And what I'm doing this season is I have my entire line in minis.
Nice. That's so dope.
So it has, if I can do that, I'm trying to do it so they don't fall out. It's got the face wash, a toner, the vitamin C serum, which is my most popular skincare, my face care product. I can't keep that in stock. I have people buy that 2 at a time. And the moisturizer, and then it also has my hydrating face mask. This container's empty, but it's got the hydrating face mask, and it also has my microderm abrasion cream. And so I'll let you in on a secret. I'm doing a pre-launch tomorrow. So this kit is going to be $55, but my pre-launch tomorrow from Monday evening to Wednesday, I think, it will be $45 for all.
Nice.
And this will last you a long time. And I also have this, I have a men's line, ML143. I also have the same products for the fellas as well. So it's different packaging, like the labeling is black and white and the box is blue. It's just like this one, except it's blue, black and white. So yeah, this is what I'm most excited about this holiday season.
Awesome. So I'm like super thrilled and excited for the products that you just displayed. As I mentioned, we've got the Perfect Pucker lip exfoliant in the self-care basket. And so I've actually used this. It makes your lips nice and soft. You don't want to go kissing people with messed up chap lip. You gotta get it together. And
Right.
she's absolutely right, because in the wintertime and when the weather is changing, it is so easy for us to just get out of sync there. We also have a cute little, and I want to get a little closer, hand sanitizer. This is the first product that we actually purchased from the Perfect Pucker. And it's just a really cute way that can slide in a nice little purse or in your pocket, a little different from some of the other hand sanitizers that you have to pour. So we have both of those in the self-care items. Before I start talking about the gift collaborations, though, I do have to say I am so like exactly what I wanted to have happen with all of these businesses kind of coming together is happening, where you're looking at and saying, hey girl, we need to collaborate, or I have a coffee scrub and you've got a coffee candle, and hey, we just interviewed Michelle Lloyd, from Dope Coffee. They've got coffee as well. That's what it's about, right? Bringing those items together, bringing these businesses together, giving alternatives, healthier, safer alternatives that are actually, you see the circulation of the dollars in our community. So for example, if you buy a gift collaboration from Noire Boutique, and we have all of these wonderful businesses featured, that means Noire Boutique then goes and buys more wholesale from these business owners, and they can, again, it's kind of circulating. And how do we do that? We have in every gift collaboration a card that features the QR code for absolutely every business that's represented in a gift collaboration. So I love for people to be my customer, but I also want them to become a customer of the Perfect Pucker and of Elevated Soap Co. So they can get this in the gift collaboration. It's all dressed up nicely. Easy way to give information, to give access to other Black-owned businesses, and to give a beautiful gift. So again, Noire Boutique, we're not selfish to say you got to buy it from us. No, go to Elevated Soap Co. Go to Perfect Pucker, because those dollars are still circulating. That creativity, that love, that Black women coming together to really do some big things. So I'm excited. Yeah, as y'all can see, as soon as she was like, we need to collaborate, I'm like, yes, that's the whole purpose. So before we jump off, I do just want to give one more opportunity for our business owners to maybe give just, and this is a surprise question, they weren't ready for this one. What would you say to someone who has an idea? They have a thought, maybe of thinking about opening a business, starting something. What type of advice would you give to them? And I'm going to start with you, Valencia.
I would say make sure that you're sharing your idea and getting feedback with like-minded people. I heard somebody say this, don't share your big dreams with small-minded people, because if you tell somebody about your business idea and what you want to do, and you're telling it to somebody who maybe doesn't have those same aspirations, they might give you all the reasons why it won't work and why you shouldn't do that. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people and that you're getting feedback and ideas from somebody who has already started their own business, or wants to go on business for themselves. That's my 2 cents.
Got it. Thank you. Amaya, what about you? What type of information, suggestions or guidance would you give to someone?
Honestly, I would. It's a little more boring, but definitely necessary. Do your research on all the legalities of opening a business, because I've seen a lot of great ideas kind of flop because they don't do the hard work on the end, like, registering it properly, like getting your EIN, making sure you do your sales tax properly. You know, Sales tax in Colorado is a nightmare. So, knowing that ahead of time will definitely, be better prepare you for any hurdles or anything like that. And you can focus more on your actual idea and your products and your business instead of worrying about all that stuff.
Absolutely. I would say for me is to just do it. So do the research, make sure you're getting good feedback from like-minded people, but to do it, right? Don't wait for that perfect time to say, okay, now, because that perfect time, I don't know that the perfect time ever comes, right? I was crazy enough to launch my business in the midst of a pandemic, like literally in the midst of it. And I think it's been the biggest blessing for me because I've had the time to get to know other business owners. Whereas maybe if I'd launched it at the perfect time, I'd have been so inundated with a million other things that I wouldn't have had that opportunity to really connect, and to understand the products, to understand kind of the passion behind your businesses, and be able to work with both of you. I will say, before we wrap up, yes, great great collab and advice, absolutely. So I will say one of the things that impressed me by both of you and working with both of you is your customer service was on point. You were very collaborative, very responsive. You answered my questions. Even for, I remember talking to Amaya the first time. She was like, well, and emailing her. She's like, well, I've never done this before, but let's see how it goes. I think it was beautiful to have you both open. Valencia and I had just a lovely conversation the first time we talked. And so working with people and surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, as you said, who are positive, who are passionate about what they're doing, and they have awesome products, just for me is enough to make me smile and say, I'm going to keep on doing this, right? I'm going to keep on driving. So from Noire Boutique, from our entire Noire Boutique family, thank you ladies so much for joining us, spending some time this Sunday afternoon. I do hope that all of us have a sold out holiday season, that you have way more orders than you can imagine that you can get out the door. But most importantly, I do hope that you take care of yourselves, and that you protect your peace, and that you have as many blessings as you can hold in life. So thank you again. Thank you to the Noire Boutique family. You all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank
Thank you.
you.